It's your boy HifiVega, and today I want to do a quick comparison
I just want to be the greatest.
In the left hand corner we have here a 16 amp hour bank of Headway cells. In the right corner we have a 95 amp hour Everstart Platinum AGM battery. What I'm going to do today is compare this battery by itself to this battery by itself. How are we going to do that? We're going to hook an amplifier up to it. We're going to see what kind of power differences we get. Now, the voltage is off. This rests a little over 13 volts as is. This rests at 12.6. So that's going to be a little bit off, but we're mainly just trying to see what you get and what you don't get with a small lithium bank with a big AGM battery. I know there are pros and cons of each, and I just want to do a quick comparison and show you the differences that you may or may not get. Let's start off with the AGM. This is a $170 battery. It has a 4-year free replacement warranty. It is 95 amp hours. It has a reserve capacity of 160 and it's rated 900 cold cranking amps. You know, there are companies that make AGMs like Excess Power, North Star that are much more friendly in telling you about how much power you can get out of a certain battery. With that being said, the main difference between AGM and a lithium is going to be discharge rate. They do have high discharge rate AGM batteries. This is not one of them. I believe the discharge rate on this is 0.5 C. That's going to be a lot different than the Headway, which is going to be a very high discharge rate. So with that being said, you can get this battery at Walmart for $170. You can use it to start your vehicle. You can use it under the hood, no problem. You can use it in any configuration you want because it is an AGM battery. What is AGM? AGM is absorbed glass mat. That's just the type of cell that this is. This has a separator in it that is a fiberglass mat kind of, and it kind of soaks up the liquid. This is a completely sealed battery, so there's no leaks that are going to come from it if you set it in a sideways position. So it is a completely sealed battery, unlike a flooded regular car battery. This makes it good for audio use inside your vehicle. It's not going to vent gases off like a flooded battery would. Before I start this test, I'm going to go ahead and verify the resting voltage of each battery so you guys have a point of reference. Now, both of these were on the trickle charger. They're completely charged, topped off all the way, and ready for action. Let's start off with the AGM. Like I said earlier, about 12.8, so 12.77 volts is what we're resting at on the AGM. Now let's check it on the Headway bank here. Maybe I should hook the probes up correctly. We're resting at 13.7 volts. Basically a complete full volt higher. Now, let's talk about how I'm gonna test this. The way I wanna do this is we're gonna do a dyno run with each one of these, and this will be the only power source. So the Headway bank by itself, the AGM by itself, we will not have anything else in line. No battery charger, no power supply. It is completely off the battery. When that dyno run happens, we're probably going to get more wattage out of the Headway because you have a higher discharge rate and you have a higher resting voltage. That's fine. This is just a comparison, but that's a theory, you know. This could be proven wrong when we do the test, and we'll verify the results when those tests are done. That being said, after we do that test, I'm not going to top them back off. Each one of them will have their dyno run. Then once we've completed that test, I'm going to run a 40 hertz sine wave with this NVX amp until we get low voltage on these. We'll also monitor the average power over that time with the AMM1 so we can kind of see what's going on in a full 5-minute test or ever how long these last until they get to low voltage. That is the testing scenario in a nutshell. So with that being said, let me get it hooked up and then we'll start and see where we're at. This is the setup. The headway bank is hooked up over here. It is powering the amp and the head unit. I have the tools set up and ready to go. I'm gonna focus in and give you a tighter shot so we can watch the amp dyno run and see where we're at. Let me zoom in. Let's get this dyno run going. Let's do our amp dyno run. Everything's set up, ready to roll. It's gonna be a 40 hertz track. Let's see what kind of power we get. Also, pay attention to the voltage. Let's see where the voltage dips and where it comes back up. All right, it looks like we got 2,539 watts. We dipped, I don't know, I'll have to review the tape, but we're now at 13.3 volts. We'll go into real-time mode and we'll see how long this can run. All right, let's start it now. All right, so the headway ran over 5 minutes. The setup shut off before the battery itself gave up. Pretty impressive. So we got to figure out a different way to measure this. I'll hook it up to the charger. We'll see what the state of the battery is as we plug it up. Go to charge it here. 95%. Crazy, man. This thing is super impressive. HifiVega from the future here. Now, as I was doing this test, I didn't actually take the time to think about it. This is not a lithium charger, and I assumed that the higher resting voltage of the lithium kind of gave us a false reading of 97%. The lithium charger I do have and use for this typically does not have this percentage meter. That's why I use this. But when I charged both these up, the lithium did charge much faster. So do understand that the 95% probably isn't 100% accurate, but it's something to compare. All right, so the AGM battery is set up. I have to put it off to the side because it's too big to fit in here with everything. But you can see the resting voltage here of 12.65. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to run the dyno, see what we get. We're going to run it, basically the same length that we run the headway bank, 5+ minutes, see what state of charge we are. We'll kind of monitor the data as it goes. So let me get that set up. Here it is. Here's the dyno. 1,500 watts. So we've bounced back to 12.5 volts, dropped about a volt. We'll compare that when I get the tail of the tape and play both of these back. So let's do it on the full run and we'll see where we end up. The longevity test, we'll try to match that 630, 640-ish watts, and we'll see how long this battery keeps up with it. All right, this handled the full 5-minute track like the other one did. We never dropped below 11.7 volts. Let's kind of see where we bounce back up to, and then we'll put it on the chargers, see where the state of charge is. It looks like this one bounced back to about 12.4 volts. All right, let's put it on the charger. Let's see what the state of charger shows here. All right, we're at 71%. At 71%, it's much more deeply discharged than the Lithium was. The Lithium bounced back, took the hit better. At 95 amp hours, you're still not performing to the level of this small little 16 amp hour pack here. I just wanted to do this as a quick little comparison to kind of show you what you can get for basically the same money. That's with the nice bus bars. If you use cheaper bus bars, you use used cells, you can get this pack for under $100. If you are a DIYer and you're considering doing some of this stuff yourself, the Headway pack, very impressive, very good way to start. If you want to see more about like assembling this pack, I have another video. I'll link it at the end of this video so you can check that out. But with all that being said, I do hope that you enjoy this kind of comparison. It's not super sciencey. We're just doing some quick little tests here to kind of show you what's going on between the two. They were similarly priced. That's why I wanted to compare them. And my final conclusion was that this outperformed the Everstart Platinum AGM by a mile. Now, you could definitely get a more high-end AGM battery that's going to perform better than this one, but it's going to cost you more money. This is $170. It is a good battery in my opinion. You can definitely get something maybe a little bit better from Northstar, from XS Power, and a few others like Turbo Start. For what it is, it's a good battery, and for what this is, it's an exceptional battery. I don't think you'd be disappointed at all. You literally got 1,000 watts more off this battery alone. Now, that's not going to translate when you hook this up to a charging system, because then things are going to be more even. It's not going to translate fully. It is going to translate some. You probably still will get more power with the Lithium setup than you will AGM, but it's going to be closer than it is on the battery alone. Let me know what you guys think about this. Is it something that you've ever considered, you know, a 16 amp hour Headway versus a basically 100 amp hour AGM? The common size is group 31. This is an H8, which is kind of close to that. If you want more stuff like this, let me know. As you can see here, I have the flooded version of this battery. I would like to compare the flooded version to the AGM. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll compare a straight up flooded cell to an AGM and see if we get much difference, if any at all. I'm going to be doing more stuff like this because it's the kind of stuff I like to do. So with all that being said, I hope to catch every single one of you on the next video. Huge shout out to all my Patreon supporters, but a special shout out goes to the 6-star or more members: 2001 Monolithic, G Nava, Joaquin Juarez, El Fuego Audio, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, William Berg, Boxboy Audio Sound Solutions, Jesus Tires, Dennis Cromwell Jr., Scott Dilbeck, D Stewarts, Aaron Waltz, David Kozlik, Scott McCord, Matthew Tolberg, Debo Bass, Corey D, Trucker 9000, Bobby Burkett, Kevin Lautner, The Cardio Guy, and James Childers. For as little as $2 a month, you can join the team and get access to the exclusive Patreon-only podcast that goes on every single month. If any of this sounds interesting to you, check me out at patreon.com/HifiVega.